Hi, and welcome to LNA Does Audio Stuff. This episode is part 2 of my workflow series. I'm gonna link down the episode 1. So this workflow is for you if you are interested on how to make arrangements, chords, progressions, interesting bass, and hooky bits. And you don't need to know any music theory. I have also made a PDF guide so that this process is as accessible for you as possible. The link for that is down below. So let's just get into it. Yes, we will. Let's get into it now. So 10 minutes, let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna go and add a drum beat. We're going to go to packs, and then from packs we're going to go to core library, then we're going to go to loops, then we're going to go to hip hop because I'm feeling that right now, and then we're gonna go to my MPC. That was the one that I loaded. Juicy. And we're gonna, by the way, work on the arrangement view. So controversial. Let's just put that there. We're just gonna loop it, just make sure that it's warped. Yes, it is. And let's just loop it about like 3 minutes 30. Because 3 minutes 30 is how long a songs are usually. What we're gonna do next is exciting. We're gonna create a bass. So this is our drums, then we're gonna add a bass. We're gonna go to instruments, then we're gonna go instrument rack, then we're gonna go to bass. Then from there we're gonna add a warm ladder bass. So you can copy exactly what I do, or you can choose different sounds, but this might be fun if you want to just try something different. I'm gonna create 2-bar sample like that. I double clicked it, I changed the length like that, and now I'm just gonna draw some notes. So I'm gonna go for C, then I'm gonna do one very long C note, then I'm gonna go hold down Alt and just copy it and go E, and then I'm gonna go A. Pick 3 nice notes that fit together. That's the basic of it. Okay, so we have... Okay, how can we make this bass more interesting? Firstly, I'm just gonna put that 1 octave lower, so we're in C3. I'm just gonna put it in that the C starts from C2. Okay, after this, I'm gonna go to MIDI FX. That's gonna be your new favorite friend. And we're gonna add a arpeggiator. There we go. One of my favorite bass tools ever. So then I'm gonna pick from rate, I'm gonna pick 1/16 because we want dun 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 sound. There we go. I change this to minor, and then here I pick C, and then I want steps to be 3 and distance to be 7. So that goes do 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 do. And then from here, I can just select which pattern I wanted to go. I'm kind of feeling that one right now. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but in this point, please subscribe to this channel. Please hit the bell icon. Please share, and just check out all the other Ableton related and other fun videos that I have on this channel, because you might like them. If you like this one, you might like them as well. Okay, let's get back to it now. After this, we're gonna just go and duplicate this bass track. So we're gonna go right click the track, duplicate. So we have 2 of them. But we're gonna take the arpeggiator off, and we're gonna take the warm ladder bass off. So we're gonna change the instrument here, and I want to go to piano, keys, and then I'm gonna, one of my favorite instruments, Old School Rhodes. It just sounds good for most of things. I'm gonna add that there, and then we're gonna go back to MIDI FX, and from there we're gonna pick chord as well as scale. But in scale, I want to go to presets, and what do we find in there? So example, C minor, we already had it in bass, we set it into C minor, so now you don't need to know music theory because you just put everything in C minor and it sounds good together. So you know that this will be in C minor. We can create now a chord progression using the chord, and top tip for that is, example, is that the bass note is 1. So then we're gonna bring the next note to 3 and the next note after that to 7. Cool. So let's see how that sounds by itself. So exciting. Let's just extend everything so they're all same length. And now we're going to create the arrangement, and then we're going to create variations, and then we're going to create a hooky bit. And that's going to happen now. Let's just start with the synth, shall we? Then I'm going to bring in couple bars, I'm going to bring in the bass and all that. So it starts with like that. Maybe a hook a bit here already. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there we go. So what I'm going to do now is just create the structure, and I'm also going to name the structure with locators. I'm going to go to the top bar, right click, add locator, intro. And how I'm going to create choruses and all that is that I'm just going to delete certain parts of the other tracks so that I create these different variations and gaps. I'm going to do that now. Okay, there we go. I have a song structure. If you don't know song structures that well, so you can use this because this is very like a poppy normal thing. So we have 2 bars of intro, then we have verse coming in, then we have chorus, verse, chorus, C part, chorus, and they're all 8 bars. Very simple, very effective. You can start with that and change it later. Now, when we have a structure, I want to create some easy variations between the samples because they are now going the same chord progression all the time. So how do I do that? In the choruses, I want to change the chord progression of both of these bass and the synth. And how I do that is that I go double click it so I see this view here, and then I go invert, which means that it kind of inverts that the highest ones go to lowest notes and the lowest notes go to highest, and it kind of just changed the chord progression. I just need to make sure that they are just separated so that I don't invert everything. There we go. So let's listen to that. Then I'm going to create another variation. I'm going to go to the C part, and I'm going to also split that from the other ones, and I'm going to reverse. I'm going to go here and reverse the chord progression. I'm going to go do the same to the synth here and reverse the chord progression. So, example, just by reverting it, I created some really good cool gap there, which sounds really cool as a C part, and then it goes back to normal. And I'm just going to copy paste the choruses that I created previously to replace the ones that we haven't changed yet. There we go. Again, we can change them later if you want more variation. Let's create a hooky bit. Okay, so we're going to go to Old School Roads. We're going to duplicate this track. Okay, after this, I'm going to pick one of the chord progressions. So I'm just going to delete everything else from this track, like that. And then I'm going to freeze this flat track, like that. Freeze, 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 freeze. Then I'm going to also flatten it so it converts it to audio. Okay, now I need to do some sample manipulation. So I'm going to use a technique where I'm going to make it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to squeeze the tempo like that, and I'm going to do it twice. Okay, and then I'm going to revert it. So we're going to just make it up, like opposite around. Okay. Okay, so now it's the same notes as the synth is doing, so we also need to transpose it. So I'm going to bring it 12 steps up. I actually like that. So 2 effects that we can use to enhance our hooky thing is thing called beat repeat. So I'm going to put that there. To be honest, all these different controls give you a lot of fun to play to kind of create a little variations to it. Another one is we're separating it a little bit from other things, is that we create an auto pan so that it goes a bit from the left and right. So there we go. Let's listen to our song. so much for watching this tutorial, and now it's time for the weekly question. So this week's question comes from Dragon Ball Crypto. Nice name. Hi there, I'm just wondering what is the best stand for the use of the Ableton Push 2. So as you know, I have a lot of Push 2 videos in my channel. So I used to work in a music gear retailer, so I can just tell what I use and also what I've seen that there is out there in the markets. Personally, at home, what I use is a bit interesting, but either I just use a normal stand, and if I want to make it a little bit more stable, I put an ironing board on the top of the stand. So that is a DIY stand. That's also easy to kind of carry if you want to go and play it live. So there is stands also made for controllers that are a bit like a note stand. So it's just so they're often a bit like note stands, bit like this one, that there is a slope, and then there is this kind of thing where it kind of stays securely, and then you just connect it from the back, and you can put it in a note stand, you can put it on a microphone stand, or part of your drum kit or your setup, how you like it. Okay, so thank you so much. Remember to ask me questions about anything down below, and I will pick one of the questions every week and I will answer it in the end of the next week's video. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I'll see you here next Sunday, because I post every single Sunday. See you later.